your favorite activity at camp?
Carnival, the kissing booth. I don't remember. Tennis, maybe? Not the waterfront. Team camp. Definitely team camp.
What was a memorable time that you got docked?
We always got docked. We got caught with cigarettes, and Larry Siegel almost made us eat them.
Okay. Any song remind you of camp?
Every song reminds me of camp.
What's one thing that you wish Brookwood had when you were a camper? Or a camper?
Pool. A pool for lower campers, definitely. That lake, not for me.
Thank you.
I can hear it that way. It's assuming I can hear you talking. It's so noisy.
Okay.
You can ask me.
Okay, what song reminds you most of camp?
Chances are, but believe it or not, the reason is because when I was walking around Brookwood, Laconda used to blast their sound system from across the lake, and they used to play Johnny Mathis all the time, and I used to walk around, and that was one of the songs I heard all the time, plus his other songs, so I remember that one well, not counting the canteen songs.
Any favorite color war break?
Oh, there's no question. The most famous one of all, 1968. This guy, Roy Drutt, as it turned out, they turned the lights out after the show in the social hall, and they dimmed the lights, and they played some eerie music. They opened the curtain, and they had this coffin lying right on there. And all of a sudden, this hand lifted it up like 2 inches, and it dropped. Then it went up 4 inches, and it dropped. And he kept on doing it until all of a sudden, he flung it open. And then you saw a hand come out, and he was all covered in like clay. So he looked like a mummy or whatever you want to call it. Excuse me. And then slowly he started rising. Everybody's screaming, the girls particularly. And suddenly he got out and stood up and said, I know you're expecting a big event, but this is not it. And all of a sudden, there were fireworks and everything went off on the girls' waterfront. All kinds of fireworks and firecrackers, and all of a sudden everybody ran out, they threw up the sheets, and that was it. The best break.
What was your favorite activity in camp?
Favorite activity is a camper or a counselor or a group leader. Don't forget, I span all the eras. I'll tell you what, as a group leader, I had 2 favorite activities. One was Frisbee golf, which I loved because I brought it to the camp, even though it was made before me. But we had a great time going around the whole camp, shooting the Frisbees off the trees and all these other poles and whatever. And another one I like, which I brought to camp, which I took from TV, was the obstacle course. And I set it up on the softball field, and we had all these little things, and we used to time the kids to see who could do it the fastest, and that was fun too. And I guess the other thing I liked was, as you should remember, when I did my sit-down foul shots on the basketball court. And I love that too.
What did you do in the Apache or the Gitch?
You'll have to skip that because don't forget, that was my years as a camper. That goes too far.
Okay.
Too far. I can't remember those.
Okay, we'll just talk maybe about some other memories that you'd like to talk about.
Well, I remember when the ball players came up. A number of Yankees, famous ones, even a couple of Mets that came up and put on clinics and everything. That was impressive. I think we had one of the New York Giants came up. And way back in the early 60s, we had some of the New York Knicks, Willis Reed, and some of these others came up. So that was special, really exciting. We also had some great shows and a lot of fun with like this Harlem Wizards, which they had all kinds of tricks. Not the Harlem Globetrotters exactly, but they still put on some tricks, played against the council team, played games with your father as well, fooled around, so that was fun. That was fun. What else? Let's see. Remember that I actually took one of those flybacks, the paddle with the ball and the string, and I was doing it. I actually got up to over 5,000 in a row. And 5,000, like 123 or 423, something like that, before I missed. Best I ever did. So I remember that.
Very focused.
What?
You must have been very focused.
I was. fact, at some point, some of the kids had left, and I just kept on watching it. It wasn't my arm that got tired. It's your neck, because you're going like this, watching it till your neck gets stiff. But that was fun. What else? Well, when I was group leader counselor going out of camp, and obviously as many of the counselors know, eating at Lefties, and then sometimes once a year they had the Stokes basketball game with some of the NBA stars at Kutcher's. That was also special, so I enjoyed that. Gotta give me a breather.
Okay. Oh, you can.
All of them. Am I right there?
You got it.
I was one of the tallest. Oh, the hatchet. I didn't get my hatchet.
All right, guys, look right here. Right here, Mark. Thank you.
People here, I wish this reunion was at least another hour and a half, because how in heaven's name can you find there's people are over there I haven't even found yet, that I know are here, that I saw on the list that were paid, and I still haven't even found them. So you can't even say hello to them. You're going to walk out of here, and you're not even going to be able to say hello to them. So that's what I feel bad about that, but it's great to see all the people and to speak to them, a certain amount, which I've seen in the past reunions, but people I never saw before. It's hard to see you with the light, by the way. But it's nice to see people I haven't seen before, first time they've come. So that's great. And hopefully, people will stay in touch enough so that we'll get together more often than once every 8 years.
It's Andrew.
How are you? How's everything? People were asking where you were. Well, you better hurry up. All the guys are here. They're all over. Find them before they leave. We were looking for him. He was one of my counselors. What?
He videoed my son's bar mitzvah recently.
Did he? Okay, what else you want? Oh, one more game I loved. When I was a group leader, I got to say it. It's one of my favorite games of all time. And unfortunately, your father never took video of this game, so I can't even relive it. The string ball game. When I used to lie down on the ground with the ball, the string, we used to go over around my head, and you had to jump when it came over there. And if you didn't jump, and you got hit in the wrong way, it lassoed you, and you went down. And whoever was the last one left was the winner. But after a while, you're getting tired, from just jumping around. And sooner or later, it's not because you didn't know how to jump, but you're tired out, and you eventually dropped out. So you have to have endurance as well as timing. But I lose that. Sometimes, eventually, I had to take a rest because I got so tired from just throwing it around. It was tiring, but I loved the game. If I had the game again now, I'd